In this video, we're going to continue volume and total surface area of solid shapes. And in our previous video, we looked at the volume of a cube, a cuboid, a cone, and a sphere. In this one, we're going to look at the volume and total surface area of a cylinder and the volume and total surface area of a wedge or a triangular base prism. So we have here the volume of a cylinder. So you have a cylinder here. The formula to find the volume is V is equals to pi r square h, and the total surface area is 2 pi r into r plus h, where r is the radius and h is the perpendicular height. Remember, perpendicular height is the one that coming straight down and forming a right angle, so it's either given inside or it's given outside. You have an example. Calculate the volume and total surface area of the shape below. Here you have the radius given as 10 cm and our height is 28 cm. So let's solve this. V is equals to pi, which is 22 over 7 times r squared, that's going to be 10 times 10 times h, which is 28, you put them over 1. V is equals to, you multiply them, you're going to get 61,600, and it's going to be cm cube, divided by 7 times 1 times 1 times 1 is 7. So the volume is equals to 8,800 cm cube. Alright, now the total surface area, the formula is 2 pi r into r plus h. 2 multiplied by pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by r, which is 10, put them over 1, all times the radius, which is 10 cm, plus the height, which is 28 cm. 2 times 5 and 2 times 10 is going to give me 440 cm, divided by 7 times 10 plus 28 is going to give me 38 cm. Divide here, I'm going to get 62.9 cm multiplied by 38 cm, and when I multiply 62.9 by 38, I'm going to get 2,390.2 cm squared. So this is the total surface area of this cylinder, and this is the volume of the cylinder. I am going to do another example where they ask you to find the curved surface area instead of the whole total surface area. There's another formula to find that. I'm going to do the example now. Here you have the formula for the curved surface area of a cylinder. So the curved surface area is equals to 2 pi r h, where r is the radius and h is the perpendicular height. Let's look at the example. Calculate the curved surface area of the shape below. The formula for curved surface area is 2 pi r h. Now the curved surface area is the area around that's going around the shape. So let's put in our values. This is going to be 2 over 1 times pi, which is 22 over 7, times the radius, which is 3 over 1, times our height, which is 12.5 cm over 1 cm there. So 2 times 2 and 2 times 3 times 12.5 is going to give me 1,650 cm squared, divided by 1 times 7 times 1 times 1 is 7. Dividing it here, I'm going to get 235.7 cm squared. And this is how you find the curved surface area of a cylinder. Remember, there is total surface area, which is 2 pi r into r plus h. This total surface area would be the area of the circular part and the top and the bottom, where the curved surface area is just the circular part that is going around the cylinder. The last shape we're going to look at is the wedge or the triangular base prism. So this is what the triangular base prism look like. Now the volume is equals to AL, where A is the area of the cross section and L is the length. Now if you notice, the cross section would be any part on this triangle that you decide on this wedge, sorry, that you decide to cut it, you must get this identical face. So if I cut it there, or if I cut it here, I must always get this triangular face. So our cross section is a triangle. So we have to find the area of the triangle and then multiply it by the length that is given here. And to find the total surface area, we have two formulas. The first one is BH plus PL, where BH is the base times the height and PL is the perimeter of the cross section times the length. So again, if you're looking at it, the base would be for our triangle and the height would be, if it's given, we use the BH plus PL. But if we weren't given any height in the question, then we have to use this, which would be the area of the front plus the area of the back plus the area of the bottom plus the area of the two triangles. This would be our front, the back there would be the back, the bottom, and then our two cross section, our two triangles at the end, we have to add them here. So you'll understand this a bit better when I go and do the example, but remember, we can only use this if we're given the base and the height, and we use this if we're not given the base. Sorry, if we're not given the height. We're just given the length of the three sides, we use the bottom one. Alright, let's look at this example. So you have a triangular base prism here, and they give you the three sides of the triangle, which is 5, 5, 8, and they also give you the height, which is 3 cm, and then they give you the length as 12.5 cm. Now volume is equal to the area of the cross section times the length. Remember, our cross section is a triangle, and if you could recall, when we did area, there are two ways of finding the area of a triangle. One is using the half base times height formula, and the other is using the Heron's formula. In order to use half base, we must know the base and we must know the height. So since you're given the base and the height, we're going to use the easy one, which is half base times height, and that's going to give me A. So A is equals to a half BH. That's going to be a half, the base is 8 cm times the height, which is 3 cm, and this would be a half of 8 3's 24 cm squared. A half of 24 is 12 cm squared. So we found what is H. Therefore, our volume, sorry, we found what is A. Therefore, our volume is equals to AL. That would be 12 cm squared multiplied by L, which is the length, and the length is 12.5 cm. 12 times 12.5 cm is going to give me 150 cm cubed. So the volume for this wedge is 150 cm cubed. Now let's go and find our total surface area. Now looking at it, you remember we said if we know the base and the height, then we're going to use the BH plus PL formula, right? So since we know the base and the height, we're going to use that one. So the formula is BH plus PL. The base is 8 cm multiplied by the height, which is 3 cm, plus we have to find P, which is the perimeter of this face, and since we know all three sides, we could find the perimeter. That's going to be 5 cm plus 5 cm plus 8 cm, and that is being multiplied by the length, which is 12.5. Good. So 8 3's is going to give me 24 cm squared plus, here now I have 5 and 5, 10 and 8, 18 cm multiplied by 12.5 cm. So this is going to be 24 cm squared plus 18 times 12.5 is going to give me 225 cm squared. Adding 24 and 225, I would get 249 cm squared, and this is the total surface area of this wedge. Remember, we can only use the BH plus PL formula for total surface area if we know the base and the height, and we're given all three sides to find the perimeter. So if we're now given that, we have to go and use the other formula, which is the front plus the back plus the bottom plus the two triangles. We're now going to work an example using the Heron's formula. Because this is the half base formula, we're going to use the Heron's formula, and we're going to do the front, back, bottom plus two triangles formula. So let's go to that one next. So example 2, if you look here, we have the triangle at the front and we're given 1, 2, 3 sides, but we weren't giving any height, and we have our length at the side here. Now remember, when you have the 3 sides, when we did the area of a triangle, we said that once you know the length of the 3 sides and you're not given any height, we have to go and use the Heron's formula. So the first thing, we have to go and find what is A. So because volume is equals to AL, so A in this case is going to be, we have to find first what is, so let me write area. So we have to find what is S. S is going to be A plus B plus C divided by 2, and that's going to be 4 plus 5 plus 3, so 4 cm plus 5 cm plus 3 cm divided by 2, and that's going to give me 12 cm divided by 2, and that's 6 cm. So my S is equals to 6 cm. Now let's go and find the area. So A is equals to the square root of S into S minus A, S minus B, S minus C. This is going to be the square root of, I'm going to leave out the cm unit because of space. So this is going to be 6 into 6 minus 4, 6 minus B, which is 5, and 6 minus C, which is 3. This is going to be the square root of 6 into 6 minus 4 is 2, 6 minus 5 is 1, and 6 minus 3 is 3. This is going to equal to the square root of 36, and the root of 36 is going to give me 6 cm. Remember, we're finding area, so it's 6 cm square. Now we found what is A. We now have to do the other part, which is multiplying it by L. So the volume is equals to AL, which is going to be 6 cm squared multiplied by the length, which is 12 cm, and 6 times 12 is going to give me 72 cm cubed. This is the volume of this shape using the Heron's formula. If you can remember the Heron's formula, you would have to do a quick recap on that and then come back to this. Now let's go and find our total surface area. Now notice that we don't have any height. So because we don't have any height, we cannot use the BH plus PL formula. What we have to do is to find the area for the front, the back, the bottom, and my two triangles, right? Now for the front, let's take this part as the front. That's going to be 5 multiplied by 12. You remember we have 1, 2, 3 rectangular faces, so it's going to be length times breadth, which is 5 times 12. The back, that's the one at the back there, it's going to be 4 times 12. And the bottom is going to be 3 times 12. And we found that the area for one of our triangle was 6 cm. So this is going to be 6 cm squared times 2, because we have one at the front and one at the back. So now let's find the total surface area. 12 times 5 is going to give me 60 cm square. 12 times 4 is going to give me 48 cm square. 12 times 3 is going to give me 36 cm square, and 6 times 2 is going to give me 12 cm square. Adding all of this up, I would get 156 cm squared. And this is the total surface area of that wedge or triangular base prism. Remember, if you're not given the height, you cannot use the half base times height formula, and likewise you cannot use the BH plus PL formula. So alright, in this video we looked at the cylinder and the wedge or the triangular base prism. And remember that in the cylinder we have the total surface area and we have the curved surface area. The total surface area will give us the area of the curve around and the two ends. And when we're finding for the curved surface area, it will just be the area of the distance around the shape. Then you have the wedge. If we're given the base and the height, then we use the half base times height formula to find the area of the cross section. And also when you know the base and the height, you could use the BH plus PL formula to find the total surface area. But if you're given the length of all three sides and you don't have a height, then you have to resort to the Heron's formula to find the area of the cross section and then multiply it by the length. And likewise in this one, when you're given the length of the three sides, you would have to use the front, back, bottom plus two triangles to find the total surface area of that wedge or the triangular base prism.